In this video, we're tapping into spiritual awakening. When I say spiritual awakening, what I mean, I don't know what the world, everybody has their own definition. In my personal life, what spiritual awakening means is finding your spirituality. Simple as that. When I was young, I was hit with a question if I believe in God. My answer, because I wasn't very still, I said no. And that's when I learned what an atheist is. Said, oh, so you're an atheist. And I said, what is that? So when they explained to me, it's like, you don't believe in God, you don't believe in nothing, you're an atheist. And I said, oh no, that doesn't sound like what I am. Because I didn't know I didn't believe in God, but I knew I was not no atheist, because later on my explanation was, no, I don't believe in God, but I know there's a higher power, like there's a force. Now, that's how it was when I was young, but because when I heard the word God, I was only familiar with Christianity. That's all, with Christianity. Everybody knows what Christianity is. So for some reason, I did not relate, but I'm gonna say relate because I can't find the word, to Christian, going to church. It's just something in me that it's just not was it. But I do believe in a higher power. I do believe in a God, so to say. So when I say God now, I know it's just a higher power. This world is precise to not have a conscience, or however you want to decipher it. Make it. It's too precise. How animals get pregnant and have the same system in the pregnancy ways as a human. It's too precise. It's too precise. Okay, so the spiritual awakening. So that was just a backstory. I found my spiritual awakening. I was spiritually awakened in 2018. Before that, I don't call myself spiritual. Like, I did not have the mindset like I have now. It's more spiritual. Anything I do is really in my spiritual ways. Like, now I have crystals, now I meditate, now I just see and I speak differently. I speak spiritualness to my kids. It's just different. It's just different. So that's what I call a spiritual awakening for me. In 2015, I felt my first heartbreak from a passing of someone. With that, whatever. By 2018, I don't know what came into me that I got my first Bible. And I started reading into it. Not so much. To this day, I still don't even read it. It's too, the terms, and it's just too much for my brain to even comprehend. I don't know. So whatever. But that was in the process of my spiritual awakening. When I started in 2018 is when I turned 30. And it's funny because when I started this path and I turned 30, that year, so much happened in that year. I lost my job. I broke up with the person that I was with. I had another family loss. I had actually a lot of epiphanies, and I did not know where they were coming from. And to this day, I wish I would have wrote them down, but I still was not in that writing stage or anything. But so much, like, I guess we call it downloads. So much kept coming, and I'm like, whoa, that makes sense. Like, whoa, like epiphanies that if I was to find the right person going through the right situation, if I would have explained that to them on how clear I had all the words to get I would have got them through it, like clear as day, right? So 2018 was a lot. It was, so that was my spiritual awakening. They say when you go through your spiritual awakening, anything that is not in your supposed, or the setbacks, the things that are not supposed to be in your life, the things that are not gonna align in your life are going to be out the door. And sometimes they're gonna be like a rush. Luckily for me, it was a rush, but I just noticed this a couple of months ago that happened. I didn't put the pieces together that in my spiritual awakening, everything in that year was rearranging. I did not. I was just going with emotions, and a lot of things were happening. Some emotions were not even processed until later. So it did happen. My spiritual awakening came in 2015 with a family member passing. It took about 3 years, but it was gradually going through there. When you are in your spiritualness, you see the world differently. What you thought before, you now see it in a different light. You now understand it better. You understand it not differently. You understand it for what it is. I used to watch TV a lot, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And before I had the spiritual awakening, mind you, it's gradually. The spiritual awakening does not happen, boom. It feels like it happened, boom, but little by little stuff happened. Before 2018, I stopped watching TV. It was just so fucking fake. So fake. I was watching this show. I think it was, I'm not sure if it was Russian. No, it wasn't. It was like a wrestler, female wrestlers on Netflix. And there was this episode, this piece that the girl was outside and she was smoking a cigarette. First of all, I could taste the cigarette. That was pretty weird. When I was seeing it, I could taste the cigarette. But when I looked at the TV, it just looked so fake and the instant. A lot of stuff was going through my mind, and it was like they had to stand there with a camera in their face and this and that, and they had to make that image look real, and a lot of things, right? This actually could go into another video because I have a lot of things to say about TV and stuff, but it was just pretty fake. So it's just another way of like you see things for what it is. Like there's certain things that some people can live without, and me, because my eye is open, you could live without it. But life has them so caught up in, and they're already deep in, that they don't know, and they're not even aware that that's not what life is about. Not even that's not life what it's about, but like you're being controlled in a sense. So I wish I could give some tips on how to be spiritual, like what could make you be in spiritual awakening. But what I want to say is, if you're even seeing this video, if you ain't come across the video, you're in your path. Everybody's spiritual awakening is totally different. I used to see a lot of videos and a lot of testimonies, whatever you might call it, of how they were awakened and this and that and blah 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 and everything, and I was like, whoa. And when I was going through the process, I was like, this is not happening, so I'm not that. But mind you, I was already spiritually awake while I was thinking I wasn't, you know. But so everybody's different. How my life is very passive. Everything happens gradually, everything's fast, so I don't really see a change until it's a couple of months or whatever down the line, and I'm like, oh yeah, in your spiritual awakening, just be yourself. I don't know what else to say about it. Everybody's awakening is very different. Everybody's awakening is very special. I think you spend time with yourself, really find yourself. When I say find yourself, is know yourself. When you know yourself, you know the boundaries, you know who you can let near you. And because when you let people near you, certain people trigger the old you. It triggers the old you. And what's wrong with that is you getting triggered and your old you're kind of like going back to old you, and then your past. So you're kind of like so the universe will cut them out some way. And if you keep noticing that something keeps popping up and it's like you gotta get out of here, but you're still letting them, you gotta get out of here, but you still letting, the universe is putting something in their way, making you feel like you gotta get out of here, and you still keeping them, let them go. No relationship is worth any resistance. No relationship. Let them go so you could be back on your path. So spiritual awakening